I cannot believe it is March and I am literally looking out the window. It has been a blizzard for like 3 days in a row. It is March 1st. Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new, and if you are new, hi, my name's Ashlyn. This is my first wrap-up video I have ever done before. If you don't know what a wrap-up video is, this is basically all of the books that I read in February. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love that I've received recently. Just posted a book shopping vlog and it is received like the most love that I've ever gotten from a video before. And I've gained like 20 subscribers today. It just makes me want to cry. This month I read 5 books and 2,037 pages. I'm so excited to give you guys my thoughts and opinions. I've got some interesting reviews. A Court of Silver Flames alone was 750 pages, so okay, let's go ahead and jump into it. The first one that I want to talk about was actually the first one that I read this month, and it was The DoOver by Lynn Painter. I actually read this for a Valentine's Day video for my channel. It was a blind date that I did with Valentine's Day books, and this was the last one that I had to read. I believe at the time I gave this one 4 stars. I think after some consideration, I would probably give it like 3.5. This book was really cute. It is a clean romance and it has the Groundhog Day trope. So you're reliving Valentine's Day over and over again, and the main character, Emily, has to witness her boyfriend cheating on her over and over and over again. I feel like the Groundhog Day trope seems like such a hard trope to write about. You are reliving the same day over and over again, so I'm sure that would be tricky to write because you don't want to bore the reader. So I was a little bit interested to see how she would do that, and I thought she did a fantastic job because each day something was different and she always just switched it up for us. I felt like it was kind of a slow little start. I really started getting into it towards the end of the book. The main character, Emily, she was so likable, I found, so it was really easy to read from her point of view. This one was a little bit underwhelming, but I will say it definitely makes me want to read better than the movies. So actually, after I read this, I went and bought Better Than the Movies. It's not that I hated this whatsoever. I definitely thought it was cute and I finished the whole thing. But yeah, I would give it like probably 3.5 stars. It was perfect for Valentine's Day, I will say. And I definitely think I would have loved this in high school. Totally. It was really cute, I will say. I love her covers too. This is so cute, right? Next is Loathe to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. This is a book comprised of 3 novellas, and Ali Hazelwood wrote The Love Hypothesis. I loved The Love Hypothesis. I thought it was so good and so cute. Loathe to Love You, I was excited about. I almost DNF'd Loathe to Love You. I feel like I just really pushed through and probably should have just pulled the plug. It focused on women that were in STEM. First one is called Under One Roof. The next one is Stuck With You, and then the third one is Below Zero. Under One Roof was about this girl named Mara who is an environmental engineer, and she basically has inherited this house, but there is another part owner of the house and he currently lives there, and so she had to show up and be like, hey, I also part own this house, so I'm moving in. It was definitely enemies to lovers at first, which I understand. Like, there's someone who just moves into your house and was like, hey, this is now part mine too, so move over. With Stuck With You and Below Zero, I was guessing the whole time. I could not figure out why they hated the other characters so much, which I thought was cool. I felt like she actually surprised me. I think my favorite one was Stuck With You, where this girl named Sadie is stuck in an elevator with this guy that she hates. These are all in alternating timelines too. So you go back in the past and you kind of see like how they know each other and what leads up to that falling out. I just thought Stuck With You was done really well, actually. I loved how they're stuck in an elevator together. I feel like they didn't spend that much time in the elevator though. I thought it was gonna be a lot longer, but it is a novella, so. With Below Zero, I totally thought that that one was gonna be my favorite. That one is about a girl named Hannah who is a NASA aerospace engineer, and that just sounds so up my alley. I actually thought for a while I wanted to work for NASA, but then I was like, oh, I kind of want to be a chemist. And then I ended up doing neither of those. So anyway, I thought that one would interest me the most. I was so bored with it. To put this into perspective, A Court of Silver Flames, 750 pages. Built to Love You, 367 pages. I read this in 3 days. This has taken me like 5. Below Zero follows a girl named Hannah who is the NASA aerospace engineer, and she is stranded and injured in the Arctic and no one can get to her. She's just in the middle of nowhere. There's a huge storm about to come and like they can't risk sending anyone else out there to go find her. So they're basically like, hey, you are gonna die. But the only person who is willing to go out there and save her is the guy she hates, her rival. So if I had to give an overall rating for Loathe to Love You, all 3 novellas, I would give it like 2 stars. Yeah. Next one is Love in Other Words. I also did a reading vlog on this one, and so I had my reaction of reading the end of this book. This book kind of broke me in half and then mended my heart. I was not expecting what Love in Other Words gave. Love in Other Words is about a girl named Macy, and it follows her life through alternating timelines. She has this falling out with her best friend Elliot, and you don't really find out why that falling out happened until later on in the book. She went through a lot growing up. She lost her mom when I believe she was 10, and so her dad raised her all alone. Macy's dad buys this cabin for them to go to whenever they just need like a weekend getaway, and that's how she met Elliot. He's the neighbor, and so they would spend so much time together reading books, and then of course they start developing a deeper relationship, and then leads up to their falling out. This book made me sob. It made me bawl my eyes out. This book is second chance romances. It's friends to lovers. I don't want to just tell you guys the same thing that I had in that reading vlog because I don't want it to be boring for you guys. If you want a more in detail review on this book, you can totally go watch that video if you want to. I believe I gave this one 4.75 stars, which I know is silly. It's like, why don't you just give it 5 stars? No, I can't. Like, there's something in me that will not allow me to give it a full 5 stars. Next up, I have A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is the novella after AHHH. You guys know I love ACOTAR so much, so this was really, really exciting to read. I know some people gave it like 3 stars because, okay, this is where I kind of like agree yet disagree with a lot of those reviews. This book really focuses on winter solstice and all of the festivities around the winter solstice, but also you're dealing with all of the heartbreak after the war. And that's not really spoiler because AHHH is called AHHH. If you didn't know that, I'm sorry. This would be the perfect Christmas winter read. It was perfect for me because it's been snowing, so this was such a cozy read, which is so different compared to the others in the series. This one was super cozy and I would say much more lighthearted, but definitely do not want to skip this one. I would completely advise against that. I think this one is very, very necessary. There are some really important conversations that happen that you'll probably want to know about before reading A Court of Silver Flames. This is also something that was different, is the chapters switched perspectives. So Feyre was still in first person, but then you would get some other characters and their point of view, but it was in third person. I actually really liked it. I gave this one, I think, 4 stars. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Thankfully, this one didn't have as many spicy scenes, I don't think. Next is A Court of Silver Flames. This book was so good. I read it in 3 days. A Court of Silver Flames is different from the other books in the AHHH series where you're following Feyre and reading from her point of view. In this one, you are following Nesta and Cassian and their story. After reading A Court of Frost and Starlight, I despised Nesta. I was one of those people, I'm sorry, I just thought she was so mean. I loved her after ACOWAR. One thing I will say about Sarah J. Maas is I feel like she doesn't leave any holes really in the plot. I feel like she pretty much addresses all of them. Did not like Nesta up until like probably half of the book, but she has a lot of character development. You just gotta hang in there. I loved this book so much. I wanted to put it down a few times because the spice quadruples in this one. The found family in this book, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. There is like a sister bond between a couple of new characters that you meet, and they even make friendship bracelets, which is like the cutest thing ever. In A Court of Silver Flames, you deal with a lot of more monsters, which was so cool. I love this one. Kind of took a darker turn, which I actually really, really liked. This got a 5 stars for me. Those are all of the books that I read in February. I hope you guys enjoyed. I would love it if you hit that subscribe button, and also comment down below and tell me your favorite book that you've read this month, and I might pick one and throw it into March's TBR. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!